Tonight's openings begin with cold brew coffee stout from Little Brown Jug Brewing in Winnipeg. They describe it as having an earthy and roasty flavor made with Sheepdog cold brew coffee from Sheepdog Coffee Roasters, also right here in Winnipeg. Oh wow, that is a dark roasty beverage. I enjoy that. And the coffee in it should keep me awake through the editing of this video. Anyway, here is the first thing in. Nothing to say about it on the label, so it is a pink-handled pair of pliers. No, I did not accidentally get a shipment that was intended for Big Clive. I don't remember specifying the this is specifically a wire-forming pair of pliers. Let me see if I can get some wire here. Well, whatever. But yeah, this is specifically for forming wire into nice, neat loops. I'm pretty sure it was sold as jewelry pliers, but it also does that quite nicely for forming wire into loops that'll go around a screw terminal. Do I need a specific pair of pliers to do that? No, I can do it with a normal pair of needle nose pliers. Yeah, like this pair here, just fine if I want to. But I figured these are probably pretty cheap and affordable, so maybe I'll give them a shot and see what they do. Hot mini 5-inch round concave pliers, wire looping pliers, precision jewelry pliers, wire looping pliers, etc., etc. I paid less than half of that back when I bought them in early November, so whatever, the prices are all over the place. Do I have to say this every time? Sure, I probably should. Search around, use the search terms, see if you can find yourself a better deal. Although looking at the tip, mine are a lot clunkier looking than those ones. But yeah, you can definitely use them for bending wire into loops and stuff. Which, actually, if I try some of that, was that freeform circuit or... I can't remember what the name of that is, where basically you just build the circuit in skeleton with stiff wire holding everything together. If I try that again, I might find these really useful. Anyway, next thing in, no information, although it says it was shipped in 1st of November, so I wonder if I even remember what I ordered. Oh, it's got 2 things in there. Okay, do these have my... hang on. No, they don't have my address on them. Okay, let's dig further and see what's inside the first one here. It is some surface mount chips. It says CH32 V003, 20 pieces. I don't remember what that is. 10 to 100 pieces, new original CH32 V003, etc., etc. SOP 8 single chip microcomputer. Oh, okay, so microcontroller, I guess. It says nothing about them down here. Fortunately, it was an easy data sheet to find. Industrial grade general purpose microcontroller, RISC V2A core, 48 megahertz mean frequency. Okay. Runs on 3.3 or 5 volts. Oh, that's cool. Has UART, has ADC, has I2C, SPI, etc., etc. Memory, 16K of program flash. Can offer PWM output. Okay. I got the J4M6 version of this, which is the 8-pin, which has 6 GPIO. Oh, you can read it as well as I can. So that's 6 channels of ADC. Huh, that's interesting. There's like 30 pages of data sheet here. It's a microcontroller. I wish I could remember whose video I was watching that convinced me to buy these, because they look like an interesting and fairly affordable little microcontroller. So what else was in that same shipment? What do we got here? Looks like a microcontroller board or something and a USB connection. What are you? So we have some header pins, double row header pins, little ribbon cable, which presumably connects between this, I'm going to say USB to serial device. Can't imagine what else it would be. We got 5 volts and 3 volts ground. data I/O and clock. And on this side, we have a receive and transmit, ground, 3 volts again, and reset. And I'm going to guess that is... Oh, that's another CH32V. Wonder if that is capable of doing USB to serial. And this is, what does that look like, a 16-pin version? I think that data sheet showed that there was more than the 8-pin version on it. So if that's a microcontroller, what is this guy here? 3 volts, ground. Okay, it looks like it's got an assortment of GPIO, including a couple of analog there. And then I'm guessing that is a programming port. But if so, what is that USB doing there? Huh. And that's another one of those CH32V. It seems that back in October, I stumbled across a new microcontroller platform and figured I'd pick some up to see if they were interesting or see if I could wrap my head around them. Huh. Let's see what the listing has to say about these guys. CH32V003 development board, etc., etc. One wire SDI system, main frequency 48 meg. So there is the kit that I've got there. And there is the specs. Again, 16K of flash, 3 or 5 volts. Direct memory addressing controller. 10-bit ADC. Timers, UART, 18 GPIO. And yeah, it's not talking about that other board that came with it. So seems that I have a lot of research to do and experimentation. If anybody has played with this chip, let me know down in the comments and give me some pointers as to where to look, I guess. All right, let's see what else I've ordered last year and have completely forgotten about. Oh, it's another one with multiple things in it. This is going to be a lengthy mailbag. Let's start with this one, I guess. It is a memory card that claims to be a 256 gig Sony. Any Sony anything that I have seen would have come with a branded card, so I have no illusions that this is actually a Sony micro SD. And I also don't believe for a second that it is 256 gig. But I will have to test it and see. I'm fairly confident that when I ordered this, it had an impossibly low price for an unexpectedly large capacity. So, yeah, it's obviously fake. I bought it knowing it was fake. I just want to see how bad it is. Maybe it is, 60 gig or 100 gig or something, or a reasonable size. Maybe it actually works but is mislabeled. Or maybe it's just a complete rip-off and you should never buy things like this from AliExpress. I don't know. We'll find out. To nobody's surprise, the page is no longer there that I bought it from, which means that AliExpress probably decided that this was a scam seller and got rid of them. However, there is where I bought it from. They claimed to be Sony Micro Memory Store. Bought it back in November. They make all these claims, and it cost me a whole $5.73. So, yeah, you're not going to get a real Sony or any 256 gig memory card for $5.73. But I figured I'd buy it just to laugh at it anyway and test it and just see how bad it really is. And to that end, it does actually mount, and it does show itself, well, it pretends to be 268 gig. MXT USB storage drive. Right. Let's see if we can throw some stuff onto it and see if it does anything at all. So as it comes, it looks like it's got some system volume information on it and a little bit of stuff. Let's see what that says. Okay, that's nothing useful. And that file just has a little bit of binary in it. Again, not all that useful. So I'm going to, just as a test, dump this Windows 10 VirtualBox image, which is, how big is that? It is 73 gig. Let's dump that onto there and see if it'll hold it and what happens. We'll be back in a while. This is going to take some amount of time. while that's happening, let's get into the next package over here and see what it is. And again, it's a couple of things. Let's look at the one that's in the transparent bag first. 11-piece Torx security bit. Oh, neat. Okay. This I actually do remember why I bought it. This is an assortment, like it says, of Torx security bits. Looks like the smallest one is T6 and the largest is T40. And some of them seem to be magnetically attracted to each other, which is fine. What triggered me to buy these was, remember back in, when was that? I guess November, when I got the knockoff Ryobi battery and I was trying to tear down my actual Ryobi charger in order to compare the two of them. And I discovered, much to my chagrin, that it both has security Torx in it, but also they are deeply recessed in there where I couldn't get at it with the security Torx bits that I had already got. But that, yep, get in there. I thought I felt it, yeah. That now allows me to do this. Cool. 11 pieces Torx security bit, S2 steel magnetic. Yes, they are. Security screwdriver, 50 or 100 millimeter star screwdriver set, shank vacuum, etc., etc. They're not vacuum packed onto a card. They are T6 to T40. Like it says there. I paid $9.99 back a couple of months ago, $10.38 now. That's not bad based on the kind of inflation we've been seeing. They also have a shorter set for cheaper, but I wanted super long reach. S2 alloy steel, whatever that is, durable, will last for years. Surface sandblasting treatment. Yeah, they do have that kind of a rough sandblasted surface on them. Sure, whatever. Can suck the screws. Yeah, okay, whatever. 1/4-inch shank, yes. Okay. No surprises. It's exactly what you would expect. So what was the other thing in that? 200. Oh, it's another SD card. Okay, Xiaomi branded. This time it claims to be 256 gig. Again, I am not expecting this to be a real one, but you never know. And again, it's exactly the same card that it's mounted on. Does this one say Xiaomi right on it? Yeah, it does, and it claims to be 256 gig again. And again, I don't believe a word of it. This copy is still going on, but it looks like it is actually still progressing, so we'll let it keep going and we'll open more stuff. Anyway, after that diversion, we bring in a large package. Not the last package, there is actually one that's bigger than this. Let's see what's in here. Oh, there's a couple of things in here. I'm going to end up with so much stuff to type up in the description. These are both the same. 6 meters, 50 beads, full color RGB, WS2811, 12 millimeter pixels. Addressable LEDs. These seem familiar, and I think, yeah, okay, these are these ones again. These are the ones that I have used for my big outdoor Christmas tree project. I've 3D printed a bunch of lenses to go on them to make them look very Christmas bulb-like, and strung them together and just run them with a WS20. What is it that I'm running them with? Oh yeah, I've got an ESP8266 board that's running them. I got a whole project about it. I'll put a link up there if you are interested in that. That's several years old now. But these are basically just a standard RGB LED and a WS2811 chip in there, which is the same functionality as a WS2812, only it can drive an external LED rather than being all built into one. And then these are kind of waterproofed into a piece of plastic sleeving. They are actually intended, you can see that there's little barbs on them to mount them. They're intended to be jammed through a panel like that to create, chase lights around the border of a sign or something, but they work pretty well for outdoor Christmas lights. And I've had them out there for, I think, 3 or 4 years now. Seasonally, like through the winter, I put them up before the snow flies, and I take them down after the snow melts. So they're not getting an easy life, and so far they have survived, which is why I bought 2 more packs of them when I saw them on sale. They're not always on sale, but when they're on sale, you know, you buy them. I just glanced over and noticed that my first one failed. I kind of expected it to, but yeah, let's cancel that. Looks like only about 4 gig got copied across. I'm going to run some more tests on this, but I'm obviously not going to use it. I'm also not going to use the other cheap one, but I will run some tests on them and just see what they really are. Maybe they're complete rejects that don't do anything. Who knows? 6 meters, 50 beads, full color RGB, WS2811, pixels addressable, yeah, whatever, IP68, waterproof. Currently, wow, they're selling for $17.89. I paid $9.50 per string for them, which is why I bought 2 of them at the time, because, like I said, they were on sale. When you see them on sale and there's something that you use anyway, absolutely grab stuff. Or at least that's what I do. Not too much more to say about them. I got the 5-volt version. Each one is about 20 milliamps per color per LED. So 60 milliamps per unit times 50. You do the math yourself. Assuming that you've got all 3 colors turned on at full tilt. That seldom happens, but you know, do the math for sizing your power supply appropriately. Useful things. And they do work outside. Like I said, I've had mine outside for multiple years through Canadian winter weathers, and they haven't failed me yet. So that's why I keep adding on to my display. Besides, the big tree outside keeps growing, so I got to put more lights on it, right? And finally, the largest bag in, which means we're getting close to the end. But we're not done yet. Don't click off. And this one also has multiple things in it. It's got 3 things in it. Let's start with the one that is not anonymized. It is tap drills. Not actually drills. These are just taps for a variety of different sizes. They look metric because I can see that one says M6 on it. That one says M8. That one says M5. The one that I dropped, M3. That one says M6, and that one says M4. This is, again, just adding to my tooling around here. It really bugs me when I try and do a project, and I've got 90% of the stuff that I want to do it, and then I run into one roadblock, and I can't complete it until I order stuff. So, when I see things that I think might be useful, I preemptively order them. Is that efficient? Maybe. I don't know. I just thank my Patreon supporters, my YouTube channel members, and the people that don't have head block for helping me afford this stuff so it doesn't cut into my hobby enjoyment. StoneGo, 1 or 5 or 10 pieces, titanium coated thread tap drill, not a drill, high-speed steel, maybe, or maybe it's titanium, who knows? Spiral fluted, the ones that I got aren't. M3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. The set that I got from this listing is the ones that we're seeing right there. M3, 4, 5, 6, 8. I guess there is no 7. I don't know. I paid $3.69 for this, but again, that was back in November. So, yeah, prices change. Use the search terms and try and find something that's appropriate to your budget. So there is some specs about them. Other than that, it doesn't say a huge amount. High hardness, brand StoneGo, whatever that is. High-speed steel, 6542, maybe straight flute. Yeah, that's the ones that I got. I don't know. I'm not going to be tapping into anything too challenging. This is mostly going to be done into aluminum, I would expect. I'm sure they will last me a lifetime unless I get all ham-fisted and break them or something, but I don't think I'm ever going to wear these out. And the second thing in that big package, let's see what we got here. Looks like a couple of packages of ICs. Oh, that identifies them as WS2811, which are exactly the same chip that was in those addressable LED strips that we saw a minute ago. And it looks like I got 20 of them. I don't know why they sent them as 2 separate 10 packs, but whatever. Those are handy, and I want to experiment with seeing if I can use these and maybe a transistor driver circuit to drive much larger LEDs than they're intended to, so that, I don't know, might be fun to put some ridiculously bright LEDs into an addressable LED strip. We'll see. 10 pieces, WS-2811, SOP 8, WS-2811, yeah, whatever. We already explored a little bit about what these do. 10 pieces for $2.10. It's a couple of cents off from what I paid for it. It's close enough. 10, so that's 21 cents each. That's not bad. You might be able to find them for cheaper. I wasn't able to at the time that I bought these. And the last thing, Ian. 7 or 11 inch articulating magic arm and clamp. Okay, I know what this is. This is normally used as a camera mount or something like that. And this guy is, yeah, that is the clamp that will allow you to clamp it to just about anything. It's got a 1/4 inch and a 5/8, I think, inch thread there for different arms and stuff. But this arm here is something that I've got a few of already, and I keep using them for all kinds of stuff in video production, so it's nice to just have another one. So that is a 1/4 inch mount. That will go on any standard camera tripod stuff and or go there. And then on this end, well, this one's got a camera hot shoe adapter, which is nice. And oh, it looks like it's got both the 1/4 inch thread and that 5/8 thread. Okay. And then a female 1/4 inch thread there. So again, that, oh wait a minute, no, that's an adapter. There's the male thread. So you could put any camera that fits a standard tripod onto there, or you could put more accessories. And again, it's a standard 1/4 bolt that you get from a hardware store, so you can put all kinds of stuff on them. For example, I've got one just over here that is holding this light in exactly the right spot over my bench. And I've got another one over here that is holding another phone pointed at my oscilloscope for when I'm actually using the oscilloscope in videos. But one other thing that I would like to be able to do is have my thermal camera held on one while I am working on the bench, so that I can still have my hands free and point at stuff and still have the thermal camera recording and all my other stuff already mounted. So that is one of the reasons why I got this. I can use this clamp on one end of this arm and one of the other clamps that I've already got on the other end. Oh yeah, and these magic arms, why they call them a magic arm, is one knob that you can use to, you know, adjust this literally anywhere, and then just lock it down and it holds tight. They are truly magic. They are a knockoff of a Manfrotto, I think, professional lighting grip kind of a piece of equipment, but those ones are bigger and more heavy duty, and for what I'm doing here for my lightweight cameras and stuff, this is absolutely perfect. 7 or 11 inch articulating magic arm plus super clamp for DSLR, rig camera, LCD monitors, LED video lights, etc., etc. This is the set that I got currently for $23.39, but of course I bought it on sale for $11.50 or thereabouts. So anyway, there's the specs for the thing and the various different sizes. I suppose that shorter one would be good if you got something heavier, like a monitor or something. Not a full-size monitor, but like a camera monitor or something like that. But I keep getting the 11-inch one, and it doesn't seem to cause me any headaches at all. And there is the contents of today's Mailbag Monday haul. Much, much bigger than what I usually do, but I guess that's what happens when you do those AliExpress multi-packs to get the free shipping. So I have a variety of these CH32 microcontrollers. There's these two in this set here with USB, and then there's just some raw chips. I've got some WS2811 raw chips as well. Plus, I've got the WS2811 strings of LEDs. So those will be to expand my outdoor Christmas lighting. These are just to play with at some point. The CH32s are to learn a new platform, maybe. If anybody remembers, or if anybody remembers watching a video where somebody was playing with one of these, let me know down below. YouTube's not going to let you link to it, but just give me the name of the channel. I can figure it out from there. Because I do not remember who put me onto these things. Anyway, oh yeah, these two rip-off micro SD cards. Again, I bought them just to play with them and see how bad they really are. I might be able to reformat them if I can figure out what their actual size is, but they are super slow anyway. I've tried them in a couple of other adapters and stuff, but yeah, don't buy those. I'm not even putting links to them down below because they are such garbage. But consider this me doing customer service, or no, what is it? Consumer advice or something like that. Yeah, do not buy these. If they cost way, way, way less than what they would in a local store, they're obviously trying to rip you off. Mechanical stuff. I got some metric thread taps, which are going to be useful going forward. I got these Torx security bits, which would have been handy to have back in November. And I got these cute little wire bending pliers that I think will come in handy when I'm putting wires onto terminals and stuff, or if I'm doing some of that freeform circuit stuff. Where is it here? Yeah. I did this years ago just to play with doing these freeform circuits, and it's neat and all, having it all skeletonized like that, but I don't know that that I can do any better. I probably can. I mean, that's why I wanted to get these. So that's another reason why I wanted to get those, just to form wire for making circuits like that in midair. Anyway, what else haven't I talked about? Oh yeah, the Magic Armband clamp. And again, that's just to enhance my photography around here a little bit. Not that you guys are going to notice, it's just going to make it easier for me behind the scenes to have things set up and have my hands free while I'm doing video. I think that's everything. The usual thank yous to my YouTube channel members, my Patreon supporters, for helping keep the beer fridge full, tossing a few dollars into the tip jar now and again. I appreciate that. And as always, thanks to everybody who's watching, subscribing, clicking on all the clicky things that YouTube wants you to click on. Sure, I guess that helps. I don't know. Yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you later.